Hey, I'm here in the Refined Audio room at Axpona 2019. There's John from Refined Audio. How are you?
Very good. How about yourself, Peter?
I'm doing great, and I'll tell you why I'm doing great. Because you're introducing what I think is one of the finest loudspeakers to the North American market. This is the Cube Nenuphar loudspeaker. It's made in Poland. We have a pair in our listening room, and I can't take myself away from them. They're so involving, they're so musical, they're so right.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're enjoying them.
Tell us a little bit about the technology.
The technology is basically a refinement of the old Lowler full range. And it has a lot of innovations to make sure that this is a speaker that is brought up to date. The cone is paper, which has self-dampening properties, but it's coated so that it's waterproof. And that keeps it from absorbing moisture and sounding different on moist days versus dry days. The cone has 3 different whizzers on it. The inner whizzer covers the highs, the outer whizzer covers the mid-range, and then the outer cone covers the bass. The second whizzer just is there to cancel resonances that occur so often in this type of driver that create that shout or that peak. And so it's just getting rid of that. The magnet is a neodymium magnet that provides 2.4 Tesla. For those of you who understand magnetic strength, that's about the same you get in an MRI machine. It's an extraordinarily strong magnetic field. It's an underhung design, so it's extremely linear. The suspension on the back, rather than being a foam, which takes and creates a different amount of resistance depending on how far it moves, the suspension on this is a phenolic that's CNC machined that allows a very linear motion to occur, very linear resistance, so that you get a much more dynamic sound presentation. It also allows for it to move very easily at low levels, so that listening to these at low levels is delightful, as opposed to some drivers which just require volume to come alive.
Well, we found that in our own listening room, that at times we turn the volume down, and you don't have to have it attack you. And to get involved, I mean, some of my systems in the past, I had an MBL 101 Mark II loudspeaker. I had to really crank that up to really get the room to vibrate and lock in and to pressurize, where these speakers will pressurize the room at relatively low volumes, and I find that to be extraordinary.
It is, and that's due to that suspension and the magnetic design. The cabinet that we have is a tapered quarter wave, and for those of you who aren't familiar with it, basically it is a wrap around that goes down to the bottom, and you have this, which basically it's like a horn, or it's called tapered quarter wave. It's tapered quarter wave transmission line. It acts like a transmission line so that it self-dampens. It is a very tight bass as a result. And coming out of the bottom, the bass response is not as room dependent or position dependent as it is on some speakers. So overall, as I like to put it, the only thing between the driver and the amplifier is cable.
That's right.
And binding post.
There you go.
No crossovers, no capacitors, nothing. It's a wonderful direct design, and it sounds just like that. It's a very direct design.
I agree. It's a 2018 Product of the Year for AV Showrooms. It is an exceptional loudspeaker, and I want to let the viewers listen to it now, okay?
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Le vent souffle encore, la neige craque sous tes pas, la maison qui dort, tu regardes une dernière fois, tiré vers l'avant, emporté par le vent, avance dans le blanc pour oublier avant. Au creux de ta main, un flocon, un diamant. Où est le chemin? L'étoile brille sur ton gant. neige dans ta bouche. Ce sont les rêves qui fondent. Ce cri que tu pousses pour que l'écho te réponde. Tiré vers l'avant, emporté par le vent. Avance dans le blanc pour oublier avant. Et que tout le reste, reste là. Dans la nuit. Le vent souffle encore. Le vent souffle encore. Tu t'en vas. Le vent souffle encore.
That is just so beautiful. I don't know what to say. The detail is astonishing. The lifelikeness of Ambason's voice is just spot on. Vincent Belanger on cello is just alive in the room. I just want to sit here and listen to the whole side. Wow. You want to show the viewers, one of the reasons I came into this room, of course the Cubes, one of my favorite loudspeakers, is the First Watt SIT3. This is designed by Nelson Pass. This is the First Watt project, and that's Nelson's pet project. It really wasn't officially part of Pass Labs until just recently. They decided to do a build run. The devices are unobtainium, so that the manufacturer that made the devices went out of business, and they purchased. I think there's a little less than 100 pieces left. I don't know the count. It's rare as hen's teeth.
Yeah, there was a limited edition build. There was 250 in the initial run, and then Nelson found a way to utilize some of the transistors and build another 100. Of those 100, there are 5 left.
There you go.
And they're all mine. So if you want to buy an SIT3, your last chance is very, very quickly going away.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that. I think the viewers would want to know that.